Hi, we're the KinderJet family.
These are our crazy kids.
Traveling with them is expensive. They each need their own airplane seat, hotel bed. They insist on eating.
It's stressful. Must they go so close to the edge?
It's exhausting. These dudes have way more energy than we do.
So why do we travel with our kids? Because it is fun, rewarding, and always worth it.
Welcome to KinderJet. Here we go. Calgary, Alberta. Home of the Stampede, the '88 Winter Olympics, and 1.3 million people, including us. Calgary is also a great place to vacation, or in our case, staycation. There are tons of things for families to do, and tons more just a short drive away. The Calgary Zoo, Heritage Park, Calaway Park, and the Calgary Tower are just a few of our family's favorites. Every time our family comes to Heritage Park, we step back in time. It all starts in the parking lot, where the little one insists we park far away and take a trolley to the front entrance. We buy our tickets, including rides, because we will want to take the steam train a few times, and maybe the paddle wheeler and a carriage ride too.
But the real reason to pay for the rides is one of the favorite spots for our kids in Heritage Park, and our first stop, the Midway. The older boys like the swings and the caterpillar. We all go on the carousel, Ferris wheel, and the whip. The mini Ferris wheel and boat swings are always a hit with the little one. You can buy tickets if you only want to go on one or two rides. There are a few games to play too.
Although Heritage Park has lots of options for food, we usually end up fueling up at the Midway Treatery. Midway-style food, hot dogs, hamburgers, french fries, popcorn, and frozen lemonade, all in an old-fashioned picnic setting. Wherever you are in the park, you're not far from snacks, lunch, water, and treats.
You can easily use the steam train to get you from one area of the park to another, as there are 3 stations throughout the park. But our family likes to get on the train at Shepherd Station and ride around the park twice, getting off at the same spot we got on.
We happen to have train lovers in our family, and Heritage Park is the place to be for train lovers. Besides the tram from the parking lot and the steam train, there are historical cars, engines, and cabooses in the roundhouse and the train shed. There are several the kids can climb up into and walk through, which they love.
Then we make our way down to the SS Moy for a leisurely cruise around the reservoir.
The horse-drawn wagon ride is not one of our kids' faves, but I like it, and once in a while, when there are no lines, I convince them to come with me for the round-trip ride around the park.
Now it's time for us to explore a little further, and we find a 1910 village full of interesting businesses and fascinating people. The post office, the newspaper office, the one-room schoolhouse, the Wainwright Hotel, Alberta Bakery. All very interesting, but these dudes know what they're looking for ice cream parlor. General store, for the candy of course. Good thing we made a stop at Ye Olde Bank Machine. Honestly, by this time we were getting tired, even though there is so much more to see. The fur trading post, a pre-railway settlement, and an Aboriginal encampment. We try to work in at least one of them on each visit. Outside the front gates is the Heritage Town Square with shopping, restaurants, and a gazebo.
One of our train lovers also happens to love cars, so we leave time at the end of our visit to tour the Gasoline Alley Museum. Antique cars and old gas pumps are just the beginning. There are interactive exhibits and photo ops abound.
Pay for admission including rides, which includes the Midway, steam train, paddle wheeler, and wagon rides.
There's so much to see and do at Heritage Park, you may find it hard to do it all in one day. Check out the park map online and plan for your family's must-sees. Then when you get here, relax, pace yourself, and enjoy your journey into the past. Highlight for the kids?
Candy shop. Midway rides. Steam train.
Highlight for the parents, SS Moyi and Alberta Bakery.
I think what our family enjoys most about a day at Heritage Park is the feeling we have when we are there. Time slows down and we stroll through the past, feeling a little less anxious, a little less rushed, and a lot more relaxed.
When we were getting ready for a trip, one of our boys said, "I can't wait until we get to go out for breakfast and order eggs." We make big plans for amusement parks and big experiences, but it really is the little things that they remember. Stop to take in the little moments. Discovering new playground equipment, spying local wildlife, watching the sunset. These are the little things they will remember. Let them make decisions. I am guilty of making all the plans and herding the family from one thing to the next. I'm trying something new. Very little scheduling. What should we do today? When they get to help set the schedule, they're so happy. Ask the locals. The local zoo might be fantastic, or the aquarium, or the children's theater. Locals know what's good, and they even have a few tips and tricks about the tourist sites too. Find a great hotel. I never cared much about the hotel I stayed in before we had kids, but with them, the hotel is way more important. So we take the time searching before booking, and we spend a tiny bit more money to get one that has lots of room, a nice feature for the parents like a deck with a view, and a pool. Never underestimate the value of the hotel pool. Have fun. I mean, like, relax. Take it easy. Loosen up on the rules. Give in a little more. Stay up a little later. Sleep in a little more. You are on vacation after all. This is the Calgary Tower, one of the World Federation of Great Towers, an icon in this city and a family travel favorite. Glass floor, fine dining, flames shooting out of the top. Seriously, flames! Okay, the flames are not always on, but on special occasions, there are flames up there.
Built by Husky to help celebrate Canada's centennial in 1967, air traffic controllers still call it the Husky Tower, so it is not confused with the control tower at the Calgary Airport. Going up 191 meters to be exact, or 626 feet. First stop, the glass floor. Maybe not for the faint of heart, but makes for some great viewing and fun photo ops.
Next up, high-powered binoculars. The kids look for places they know, and I point out the landmarks. We also like to check out what's on top of the buildings.
The view from up here is spectacular. As a kid, I remember looking down and thinking, all those people look like ants and those cars were like my little toy cars. It was so cool. All this looking can work up a thirst, so hit the gift shop for some drinks and maybe a treat. Don't forget to check out the gifts because there's a lot of fun stuff.
Admission is for the day, so you can re-enter with a receipt and a stamp. Go back up at night to see the city lights.
Although a meal in the revolving restaurant is tasty and fun, it is also pricey. So save this for a special family occasion. Highlight for the kids?
Pretending we're falling on the glass floor.
Highlight for the parents, the 360 view of the city.
I love shooting stills with my Nikon DSLR, especially in holiday. I get so wrapped up in what I'm capturing that sometimes I forget about everybody else. Choosing the right lenses to take on holiday is not easy, but I kind of have it down to 2 now. If I could, I would take my whole kit, but then we'd need a whole other vehicle, and well, you can see where that's going. After years of working my way through various lenses, I have settled on a zoom that covers a very wide range and a very fast prime lens for evening and nighttime shots. When Nikon came out with the 18-105, I thought this was a great lens, and the price was right. It was nice and wide, and when combined with the zoom, it was good for travel. But several factors are cause for concern, one of which is the plastic mount, and the other being the length of the zoom. But Nikon's 18-200 effectively declared all other lenses obsolete. Well, maybe not really, but who needs anything else? Replacing a bag full of lenses with one lens is the traveler's dream. Well, there's more to that story, and it is a great lens. It does cost more, but that's not necessarily out of the reach for most. The pictures you get are sharp, and the images you can capture are excellent. It's a little bigger and heavier than the 18-105, but that is to be expected. The new 18-300 is a godsend for me. It gives me that much more zoom lens, giving me that much more options. But it comes with a caveat. It's bigger and heavier. Hauling this guy around may not be for everyone, and the price tag may be out of reach for some, but for me it's worth it, especially when I need that much more zoom. So my go-to lens for travel is the 18-300, but when it starts to get dark I like to be able to keep on shooting, so I purchased the inexpensive 35mm prime. It's small, light, and easy to pack in my camera bag, even a pocket. But most importantly, it's a fast lens, meaning that it allows more light into the lens so that you can take better pictures in low or less light. It does not zoom, so it does limit your options, but at night I find that I don't really need or want to zoom as much. Mostly because I think my subject matter is close or lit up enough and further away. Join the discussion at KinderJet.com and let us know your favorite lenses and why. An afternoon at the Calgary Zoo is something our family enjoys almost any time. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, we explore the various areas, visit our favorite animals, and find a few new ones.
Now, the little one has long since outgrown his stroller, but the zoo is big and there's a lot of walking. We stop on the way in and rent a wagon, which is great for our backpack, the jackets that go on and come off throughout the day, leftover food and bottles of water, and of course, a kid who's tired of walking.
First things first, let's get the ice cream out of the way immediately. In the summer, there are ice cream stands along the pathways. There is always ice cream and coffee and hot chocolate and hot dogs available at the Katimbah Cafe and usually at the Dairy Bar, which are both close to the main zoo entrance. There are 3 or 4 other permanent food places which are open based on weather and visitor numbers.
Now let's look at some animals. We are at the zoo after all. The first thing we come to is Penguin Plunge. This is a big draw, so there's usually a lineup to go into the building. We were lucky to see the penguins posing outside. Next is the Canadian Wilds. I have to be honest, we don't always venture through the Canadian Wilds. 2 reasons. 1, it is enormous. 2, because of the large enclosures, you quite often do the entire trail without seeing any animals. It's a long walk and it can be disappointing, but totally worth it when we get to see these guys. It seems to me we see more of them on cool mornings than hot afternoons.
Across from the Canadian Wilds is Prehistoric Park. A stroll through this section of the zoo allows us to go back in time, way back to when dinosaurs inhabited Western Canada. Our family of dinosaur experts always enjoys the life-size dinosaurs in Prehistoric Park.
Next stop, Destination Africa. Giraffes and hippos and lions, oh my. The Africa Savannah building is a family favorite. Warning, stay back from those hippos. They tend to spray guests who stand too close to the rail. Even if the hippos and giraffes are outside, the kids still like to see the meerkats, porcupine, and Red River hogs and watch the tilapia swim in the hippo tank.
A short walk takes you to the lions.
And then we head to the TransAlta Rainforest building. Imagine a rainforest in a building. It's hot and humid and smells like gorillas. We used to skip this one most of the time, but the gorillas had a baby around the same time as the little one was born, so now I find it fascinating to compare the two of them. Ironically, the smell and hot humidity does not sit well with the little one, so usually he can't wait to get out of there.
Depending on the time and our energy level, we may step into the South America building. Monkeys, sloth, anteater, condor, all really cool to watch, but for our family, getting to see the tigers is the top priority. In Eurasia, on our way to the tigers, we find the elephants and camels. In Elephant Crossing, the stingray tank captures the boys' attention.
Next to the Tiger's Den gift shop, we find one of our favorite areas of the zoo, a new little one-friendly playground. The giraffe slide over and over and over.
The mini train was running, which was a huge bonus for the little one, and his older brothers were more than happy to join him on the ride.
The wildlife carousel is fantastic in my opinion. Who wouldn't enjoy riding on a grizzly bear or a velociraptor? We actually had to go 3 times to get everyone on the velociraptor. This one prefers the comfort of the peacock seat.
Do not want to ride this bear. This peacock is not available for riding either.
Finally, we get to the far end of the zoo and my personal favorite. There are 2 strong iron fences between me and this dude, and still, when he looked right at me with his mouth open, I got chills.
The Zoo Venture Playground is a giant climbing structure in the Destination Africa area of the zoo. We usually save playtime here for the end of the day on our way back to the parking lot.
If you have a child too old for the stroller, but still small enough to get tired of walking, rent a wagon at the front gate. Bonus, the older kids like to take turns pulling the wagon.
Bring your own lunch and snacks, but stop for ice cream or hot chocolate.
Highlight for the kids.
Tigers!
Highlight for the parents. Did I mention you can get Starbucks lattes at Katoomba Java?
We always enjoy our family times at the Calgary Zoo. Despite the crowds, lineups, and small fortune we spend, the kids all agree it is a great day. And that's what it's all about. We have been to more than one huge amusement park with our kids. They have memories of each one which they will carry with them for the rest of their lives. They will also remember the trip each summer to our smaller local mecca of amusement, Calaway Park.
Smaller amusement parks offer relaxation and a level of comfortable fun that can only be found closer to home. Although, there are some families who skip Disney and go for smaller parks while traveling, too.
Calaway Park is set up really well, putting rides for the little ones next to rides for the big kids, snack and beverage stations throughout, the circular design to avoid backtracking, and added value with mini golf and climbing structure.
Even on a beautiful day, the line for the Vortex roller coaster is bearable, and it's a repeat ride for the older boys. While the big kids do the coaster, this is more the little one in my speed. Can't beat the thrill of a train ride and this view.
The bumper boats are another one worth waiting for. The line is always long, so we try to do this one early in the day. Remember to take off sweaters and maybe bring a towel.
It doesn't matter how old they get, my heart still skips a beat when I see my kids upside down up in the air. This one's called the Wave Rider. The Adrenaline Test Zone. The Storm. Air Gliders. Shoot the Chutes. The Samba Spin. Why am I always on the spinning rides?
Thankfully, there are lots of rides for the little ones too. Hilltop Railway, Super Trucks, the Taut Yachts, Swirly Twirl, the Baja Buggies, This is more like it, and they can all ride together.
And then there are the ones we all do, even Daddy. Balloon Ascension and the You Drive Safe to School of Motoring are family favorites.
What is it you really want?
After all that riding, it's time for refreshments.
The games are pretty easy to win, so for a couple of toonies, everyone goes home with a completely useless, yet adored, stuffed snake as a souvenir of the day.
We have yet to catch a show at Calaway Park. We don't skip them on purpose. We just get so caught up in riding and playing we forget. Highlight for the kids.
Roller coaster. Bumper boats.
Highlight for the parents. When the spinning stops. We always have a fabulous time at Calaway Park. We all have fun, no stress, and happy smiles all around, and around, and around, and around, and around.
Best of all, we feel like we've had a mini vacation when we get back to real life. What more can you ask for? The more we travel with our kids, the easier it gets. The good usually outweighs the bad, and the rest will, one day, make us laugh. Every family and every trip is unique. Different things work for different kids at different ages. All parents have stories to tell. Share your family stories, tips, and advice on KinderJet.com.